Yo, what up, everybody? Zakar here. Once again, we are going to be going through the patch notes that dropped today. Just going to mostly be focusing on anything that's related to Necro minions for this video, as that's kind of like what I care about. So let's go into this, see what we got, and talk about it. All right, let's get into it. So the first little bit here is going to be about what I believe to be is just the new chapter stuff. So there's a new chapter, obviously. Great, amazing. Love to see it. Completing chapter 10 will give your character an additional +1 in all attributes. Let's go. This is awesome, dude. Let's go. We have the primal hunt stuff, which is how we're going to get the primordial uniques and exalts. This is great. This is nice. Seems really interesting. I think that this will be a pretty fun mechanic to interact with, but there's not a lot I can really say about this. Just by looking at it, it's definitely something you gotta play and see how it is. See what kind of grievances there might be in terms of like what headaches are to like actually interact with the system and everything. But we'll find out, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. It sounds like it's gonna be a fun system, and I'm really hoping it adds a little bit more longevity to the end game. Searching for these primordial uniques and exalteds, because I don't know if y'all seen some of the primordial uniques, but they are crazy. For the items, as you know, you can only equip one of each. I'm sorry, one of either or, not one of each. So either a primordial unique or a primordial exalted. There are 25 uniques, and 22 of them can be purchased. 3 are drop only. So this will be really interesting. There's some nice content updates to the campaign, monolith, QL updates, changing how Glyph of Envy works, removing its ability to add stability to a timeline, and now giving us a way to directly change subtypes. So really cool feature, and definitely going to be used in crafting, right? So this is also nice. It's essentially replacing what Glyph of Envy was doing. Just without all the headaches and actually giving a purpose to the Glyph of Envy with crafting. Still had a purpose, but it was very, very niche before. Boosting all the monoliths is going to make it a little bit harder to enter monoliths at an exceptionally low level. I'm one of the ones who favors entering monoliths at Oracle's Abode, so essentially right after you unlock Temporal Sanctum, going into monoliths. But yeah. Guess we'll see. Not really caring too much about anything else currently. All this is nice. All this is nice. We read this stuff yesterday about minions, so some of this stuff was really nice. Minion AI is improved. Minion power now scales a little bit better. We're getting a buff on that, so 60% more damage and 60% less damage taken for our minions whenever we have the maximum minion power. They also take less damage generally from dangerous abilities, and this is, I think, mostly like those big AoE abilities, like think, Black Sun, Rye, and it doing the circular pie thing and slams and stuff like those abilities are dangerous abilities, right? We have improvements to AI, can toggle between protect and assassinate modes, which is going to be pretty interesting. I'm hoping that this is something that is really nice. Based on what I can read here, the fact that minions are going to be more responsive at high speeds and not do the ice skating stuff that they did or have been doing in prior patches. They won't do this run back and forth thing. It's funny, this happens so often where you're trying to like stay at a safe distance, but also allow your minions to aggro the pack or enemy that you're fighting. And it would be out of their pursuit range or their protect range where they're pursuing and like also trying to protect you. And so they just get stuck in this walk back and forth state, which was really annoying and caused you to lose a lot of damage from minions. Other than that, we have this feature right here, which is nice. Summon rogues is gonna be really nice. So they're not gonna use a movement skill or an ability that takes them a distance that then they're like, oh, I need to go back and go and protect, which also causes them to get stuck in this back and forth state, right? Minions run in front of the player towards their destination, following the keyboard or mouse position, I guess. And then on gamepad, WASD, and it just picks a position 5 meters in front of you. So these are really nice changes, and I think this is going to make minions feel a lot better. Before, with the AI, you almost had to play around the AI in the sense that when you moved to a pack, you'd have to almost like pause before the pack so your minions caught up to you, and then it's like they follow your movement, but it's like just slightly delayed. So you always have to play like, okay, where do I want my minions to stop? You have to stop there for a bit and then continue forward, and then your minions would come because they get in that catch up position. Stop, destroy the pack, and then they start catching up to you again. So it was like if you could get it in this nice cadence, it was really easy to play with and really nice to play with. It made the AI feel a lot better if you had that kind of like knowledge. And I've been playing Necro for a while, so I did have that kind of knowledge, and I used that, and I think that was nice. I'm hoping I don't have to relearn a lot of that stuff, but and I'm hoping this just works fantastically out of the box. But that's nice here. Let's continue. Sentinel passives. Hey, good luck, Sentinels. I hope everything went well. I saw some nerfs. I saw some buffs. But, I mean, pretty much looks like Sentinel's going to be all right, guys. If you're worried about Sentinel, find your favorite Sentinel lover and ask them about it, because I have no idea. Rogue, once again, no idea. There's some cool, interesting changes in here. Also, looks like, hopefully there's some changes in here that might have affected some of the more powerful Rogue builds, but I will let the Rogue aficionados figure that out and let us know. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, Acolyte. Awesome. First, right off the bat, Crimson of Gluttony. So it's granting 1% missing health gained as ward per point and 1% current health drain per second. This, I believe, was the smaller node here. Let's give you regen. This is a lot better. This is just easy sustain early. That is going to be really nice. It also pairs exceptionally well with Summon Revenant early on. So I think this node paired with this node early on is going to be quite the combo for leveling. I think it's going to be a good leveling combination. So we'll see. Veins of Power grants 8% increased bleed duration for you and your minions. This is nice. Just this one up here. Little boost. Soul Aegis grants 4 armor per level from 3. Just a little boost to this node right here. Ethereal Revenant now has a threshold bonus at 4 points, which grants the Revenant 1% more damage per combined minion skill level, which is here. And I'm sorry, I should probably actually use this since it has updated stuff, right? So you can see. Yeah, I mean, this is nice. This is nice. If you can get 5 skills, all minion skills, you get 1% per level per minion skill. Yeah, it's just another 100% more damage bonus on Revenant. And Revenant is pretty busted, not gonna lie. We'll see what the minion stats are whenever the patch launches, or the patch actually drops, because I'm not sure how some Revenant's gonna scale or what it's gonna scale with now, but as of now, it scales pretty insane, to be honest, if y'all don't know about it. But I'll show y'all that later. Putrid Demise now grants 7% poison chance per point instead of 8% chance to poison nearby enemies on kill. Cool. Mania of Mortality now grants 10% chance per point to gain 13 ward on nearby death. This counts for all deaths, not just enemies, so minions, whatever. If you're playing a build where you're consuming minions or killing enemies at the same time, Exhibit A, Profane Ablation, ideal, right? It's pretty good. Lich Passive Tree. There's some good stuff in here that I think will apply to Necro pretty easily, right? Some stuff at the bottom of the tree here. This is a great node. This one here is all right. Soul Barrier, great node, especially with the new Vitality stacking stuff in Necro, which we'll see. Soul Barrier, yep, that's great. Spirit Lure has been replaced with Spirit Ward, which grants +5 ward per second, 2% Fizz Res. This is also nice. I'm not sure. Let me see. Spirit Lure, I think that's still in the bottom half here. But this is also nice because the Fizz Res is going to be very, very nice to get with a little bit of ward per second. Fizz Res is something that's a little bit lacking to get on Necro. Same with Void Res, but everything else usually pretty easy. Serrated Bones has been renamed to Biting Frost. Cool. Now we get Frostbite Chance. I don't know if there's going to be something with Frostbite Chance and Cold for minions, but maybe. Don't hold your breath. Harvested Legions has been replaced with Ethereal Menace, which grants 6% increased melee damage and +1 dexterity per point. Nice. Unfortunate that they do not get the Skeletal Vanguards anymore. So, and it's interesting they're leaning into dexterity a little bit more on Lich. So that's pretty interesting. These lower dexterity nodes could be useful for Chaos Bolts proccing Harvest, and there's some other interesting mechanics that we can get into once we get to the skills. But yeah, I think that's awesome. Reaper now has 3-point threshold, which gives +2 dodge rating per intelligence and 2% increased dodge rating per vitality. Once again, bit stacking, intelligence stacking. Now we're going dodge Lich, dodge Necro. Everybody log in. That's the plan. All right, everyone go dodge. With this, added a new node, Scornful Blood, which takes the old position of Hollow Lich. Instead of healing you, Leech drains the health of an enemy within 6 meters every 0.25 seconds. So, interesting rework on Hollow Lich. I think this looks nice. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but I think it's pretty nice. It's been moved to require Scornful Blood, which now grants 2% damage per 1% health leech per point, and maximum of 3 points from 10%. Nice. Let's see. Bit of Souls now has a 5-point threshold, which grants 2% increased health regen per vitality. Once again, could be good. Sounds good. It's just another scaling with stats. Like stat stacking on Aquila is just going to be beautiful. Crippling Insight has been renamed to Excoriating Sight and grants -1% elemental resistance per point instead of 5% reduced health per point. And now it's a 5-point threshold, which grants 8% elemental penetration. Some of the stuff here, you have the dual wield node, corrupted form. Yeah, some of the stuff is just like very specific to. I think this is the upper half of Lich, that's specific to Lich. And some of these nodes we've seen before. Saw this one. Grants 2% of hit damage from taking. Oh, this is nice. A little node that kind of imitates what we got in the glove slot already from Uniques. This looks pretty interesting, scaling your more damage based on your current health drain. And there's some items here that also can increase this and change this. So, I mean, this is an interesting node. I don't know if it's anything I do with it, but this is awesome. I think nodes like these that are versatile and change based on what you equip are really nice. Wish we would have got some. Just kidding. Maybe we did. Who knows? Symbol of Decay has been replaced with Impact Ward. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is good. We already saw this node. Decaying Form grants 2% less poison damage. And it now has 6-point threshold against 50% of all damage taken over time is taken as poison damage. This is interesting. This is pretty interesting because you can get a lot of poison DR reduction. So not sure how people will use it, but this is very interesting node. Clairvoyant Insight now has a 3-point threshold, which grants when you critically hit an enemy, you gain 25% critical strike multiplier as ward. Oh, this is also really nice. There's some interesting primordials that I've seen on the planner that I think this might like really work well with. Wands of the Fallen now grant 10% increased spell damage with no shield equipped. I mean, yeah, this one's pretty much the same. It's nice. Nice, yeah, it's fine. We've already seen this one. This is the prevent your leech doesn't stop when you reach max health. Mind over Body looks good. It's an low life node. And Soul Maw has been replaced with Reaper's Malice, which grants +2 dexterity, more dex. Ooh, an 8% increased critical strike chance and forward gained on dodge per point. I can't talk today, guys. I'm so sorry. But that one looks great as well, actually. More dodge, because we're all going dodge on Acolyte, guys. Please remember this. All right, the Necromancer passage tree. This is what I really care about, guys. This is what I really care about. Elixir of Hunger. This node got changed. So we can see here. When you use a potion, you also consume your lowest health minion, killing it to restore your health. The health is gained is equal to half the minion's maximum health. So obviously, if you're using a minion build that you want your minions to stay alive, don't use this node. But before the threshold, it's great to get some health and intelligence. Or just don't use potions, guys. pretty much, right? It's pretty much the lesson. Grave Thorns grants +1 vitality. So this is this node right here. Gives you +1 vitality, flat minion armor, minion damage reflected, and increased minion armor per intelligence. This is percent armor, and minion health per vitality. So this is a really awesome node. This node's really insane. The problem we had before this node was the only kind of like percent armor you could get beforehand, because it was let me show you. It was this node, so it only gave you like 25% increased armor. Well, now we can get way more increased armor, and we get some flat on top of it already, and then we can scale our flat armor that we get from Dreadshade, or hopefully get from Dreadshade, right? For our minions. This is just another defense layer that minions didn't have prior. So really good, really good, because minions lacked layers. It wasn't that they lacked defenses necessarily. Like, they had access to many defenses, but like it was very like specific to health or flat armor or whatever. It wasn't very diverse. There wasn't like many different avenues you can go around. It was like all res, health, and then the little bit of armor that you get. And this just makes the armor a lot bigger, and there's gonna be other defensive nodes that we get as well that I'm sure will help, right? Plus all the other bonuses to innate defense for minions and offense for minions, right? That we got from minion power and such. Cursed Blood. So Cursed Blood, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's this one. So now it has this, where when one of your minions dies, enemies within 4 meters are marked for death. This effect can occur up to 2 times per 3 seconds. Really nice. I think this is really good. And it marks a multitude of people whenever you kill, or whenever a minion dies, or whenever you kill a minion, right, near an enemy. Before, it was the nearest enemy, and it was this, right? And it was a percent chance. It was a little bit messy. I think this is a lot better. Plus, you're only spending the 2 extra points because most of the time you're probably playing, crit or hit, and you want Aegis Fall for the minion armor shred, right? But Blood Armor, this node right here, just got buffed on the health regen. Really great early. Outside of that, you usually unspec this node unless you're going regen or something. Life Drinker has been replaced with Soul Conduit. I believe that's this node. Yeah. So now you get ward per second per minion, up to 20 minions. It's a 5-point investment, so you can get 10. So 200 ward per second. Mortal Tether also grants 2% endurance per point. That is going to be this node, which is nice. Very nice. That was another thing, is sometimes it'd be a little bit hard to scale your endurance. Getting 20% from a single node could be something that you do. We will see. Mark of Punishment has been replaced with Towering Death, +5 health, armor, stun avoidance, and grants minion stun immunity, and 30% reduced bonus damage taken from critical strikes for you and your minions. It's gonna be this node here. I think a lot of people were talking about this node, kind of speculating what it would be. Saw a Golem node with a bonus point thing, so they assumed that this would be something with the golems, but it is not. Minion stun immunity, big win. Just getting that, nice. Also, the shared reduced bonus damage taken from crits, really nice. I think gearing in terms of like your defenses and also your minions can be very nice this season. So let's not lose hope, everybody. Next node we got here is Dark Retribution. So Dark Retribution, I believe. Wait, I don't know where it's at. I'm lost. There's no way we went straight up, right? I'm crazy. Dark Retribution has been it's been replaced with Invigorated Dead. Sorry. So it's this node right here. So minion melee physical damage. We get flat melee, we get 10, and we get movement speed 10%. And then this right here, guys, this is insane. Your minions gain all of their added melee physical damage as added throwing physical damage. So one thing that has been in the bane of my existence on Necro is the fact that we've had limited options to scale throwing damage. And there's things that scale with throwing damage like immensely, okay? Rogues scale with throwing damage. So this being added melee physical damage being converted is great, because Fizz crit rogues is probably going to be so good. I'm I'm like betting on it that it'll be good, but like I know, please be good. And it's gonna be nice. This as well with Revenant. I don't think people understand this, but like depending on if it's changed, right, guys? I don't know if this has changed, but Revenant, no one knows this. Oh, I need to go to minions. It's not necessarily, but if you go to Revenant, guys, and you look at what it scales with, it has a melee attack, right? It has a melee attack, and it does 1,000% effectiveness per second, just baseline. And guess what it scales with? Throwing. I've tested this. I've tested on multiple things. The skill sucks to use. It has no homing, so that's one thing. And the fact that you get all this throwing damage and all the more multis that you get from it already. All the more multis that you get from it already, and then you're getting this throwing damage on top. Oh my god, bro. I don't know. Summon Revenant looks like a crazy starter early on. For me personally, I think that looks insane for just like a league starter. That and a couple other things, but yeah. So guys, like this node right here, insane. I promise. No one knows, but it's insane. Unbound Necromancy is now a 5-point node that grants 8% chance per point for summon skeletons to resummon. Unbound Necromancy, I think it's, oh yeah, so yeah, here. So we're getting this. It's a 3-point bonus node now where you get your +1 to max skellies, and then yeah, you have the resummon chance. So I think you can get 100%. A lot of people are talking. There's a 3-second delay after a minion dies, so you have to have like this staggering effect where they're summoned almost in sequence versus like, yeah, it's gonna be weird. The 3 seconds is good if it's staggered. If you're killing all your minions at once and waiting an additional 3 seconds, I don't know if it's necessarily that good, but something we're gonna have to explore for sure. Wisp Weaver has been reworked. I don't even know what Wisp. Oh, it's this node. Okay. Sure. I mean, that sucks for those who are getting ward gen from this node before, because I think it was a ward gen node. Yeah, ward whenever you use a minion skill. So sucks for that, but Frostbite chance. I don't know what they're doing with all this Frostbite chance. We shall see. Unearthed Arms has been replaced with Blood Feast. It grants 1% minion damage, leeches health, and 5% increased minion health. So this here. So just a little bit more minion leech, which is nice, and a little bit more minion health. Can't complain, guys. Can't complain. Continuing. What do we have? Soul Drinker has been replaced with Sharpened Bones. This just gives flat crit. Yep. Flat base crit, which is nice. Effigies has been completely reworked. This is the node that we saw. Maybe there's some stuff to do with the bonus threshold point. At first glance, I'm not like too like over the moon for it. Outside of like a couple builds, it's really good. But it's not like I mean, I'm gonna have to explore things with this node, because who knows? There's probably something crazy that I just am not seeing at first glance. The damage redirected to lowest health minion, obviously good. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. It's more so the threshold. River of Bones. So we just lost the increased leech here. If you look here, increased minion health leech. It's good for some minions and it's bad for others. I mean, like losing the health leech is bad generally, but like having the health leech was good for some minions and bad for others. It's like an change, I guess. Moonlight Pyre now also grants damned and ignite chance, so it just does a lot more. Before having just a flat, it was kind of like no. Having this is 70% per is really interesting for maybe some dot builds, right? Let's see, Cling to Life. So Cling to Life here is granting literally everything. This is huge. This node is like this is a must take. I'm pretty sure, like must take and must cap for pretty much all minion builds. So just you'll love this node, guys. This node and this node, guys. You're gonna love these two. Okay. What else we got? Piercy's been removed. Blades of Form has moved to its position. So it used to be this node up here, and now it's down here. Boom. Boom. And then we don't have the other node that used to be here. Rite of the Undeath grants 10% increase minion and necrotic elemental damage. Now has a 7-point threshold bonus node. So this is the node that we saw that one time. Or no, actually, I'm sorry, I lied. This is not a node we saw. But this just got a slight nerf. The resistance is still the same. Minion penetration per 5%. Overcapped resistance 1%. This gives you another scaling for multiple damage types outside of just cold for like Lich's Scorn. I think Lich's Scorn for most cold builds are going to be like, it's going to be like the top creme de la creme or something, however you say that. So we shall see, but this looks pretty good. As I said, going into the dot stuff with Damned Ignite might be interesting. Let's continue. Let's see. The next one that we have is Empty the Graves. Gives 4% increased health regen per minion per point, but both of its effects are now limited up to 20 minions. So it's just this node here. Now it has a cap for how many minions it counts for, and yeah, 4 armor, 4% health regen. There might be some regen builds out there, maybe using Vessel of Strife. I don't know. We'll see. Veins of Malice. This is what I'm on next. Yeah. Oh no, I lied. Did I miss something? Where am I at now? Okay, I just read this one. Wait, I just read this one. Okay, added a new node, Forbidden Teachings, in the old position of Blaze of Influence. Forlorn, blah, blah, blah. This is the one that we saw already. So this is the one where you get Int Vitality. Great node. I mean, the node's fine. And then the bonus threshold, 100% increase crit chance. Great. And more damage or time per vitality. I think this node, looking holistically at everything, is a really good node. I know my last video was like, it could be good, could be bad. I mean, it's generally a good node, but it's like, I don't know if it's like, oh, great node, or I think it's a great node. Looking at it now, holistically with everything else, I think it's a great node. Veins of Malice now grants 5% per point to gain haste for 2 seconds on minion kill or death, and 1% increased movement speed per point, and now has a 3-point threshold bonus, which gives you essentially the haste and frenzy duration. So from the notes we didn't know, but it looks like it still has the cooldown, so you're only getting a 50% uptime on this threshold bonus, which isn't as insane. I thought they removed the cooldown, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. It's just perma haste and frenzy, but it's not. So, okay node. Good node, I guess. So you don't have to like scale it. It's better than it was, right? Like way better than it was, which was this, by the way. You had to scale it to get to 50% uptime. Disciples of Necromancy is now a 5-point node that grants 2 minion spell damage and 2% increased minion cast speed per point. And now you just get +1 as a threshold for mages. Great node. Can't complain, guys. Can't complain. All the overall passive tree for Necromancer, big W. It's pretty much an upgrade from what it was, which it was a pretty good tree. It was just boring. I think there's a little bit more interesting options. I still think it's kind of obvious what you might go. I think the tree is going to look pretty similar across builds. I just think there are more builds enabled by this tree. So, a lot of the meta builds will probably take more or less the same nodes. But yeah, I think there's a lot of builds that come out of this that you'll see different trees because the build just enables a lot more stuff. It's great, guys, when you enable things. Who would have thought? Skills. Flay. I didn't see much in Flay regarding minions. I think there's like 1 or 2 things, like something to do with skeletons. And I know there's some primordial and uniques that also has something to do with it. But let me see if I can find the skeleton node here. Could have swore there was one. It's like I'm just. What the heck? All right, well. I don't know. Let's go back to Flay. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, I lied. I wish this. I wish the form page was like just way better than what it is, but that's what we have to deal with, I guess. Skeleton. Here we go. Chill the Grave, 10%. More hit damage to chilled or frozen enemies per point, plus 10 freeze rate per point per active skeleton or bone golem. I think there's another node that's like this, but maybe I'm actually not remembering things properly. I don't know. Either way, didn't see very many minion things related to Flay, so I kind of was like, oh, cool, I'm out. Assemble Abomination, let's go, guys. Okay, Assemble Abomination. So as we saw, Pretty much, Assemble Abomination is looking really, really, really juicy and really good. For the skill changes, all the skills for the most part seem to have gotten a base damage buff, an area increase, and also a damage effectiveness buff. Pretty much around, like, all around. So the basic attack is Giga. The double strike is Giga. The stomp is Giga. All great. I think you can build probably A-bomb in any of these specs and do pretty good, and maybe even build all of them. Like if you want to, I think A-bomb is going to be like a very versatile skill. You can specialize into a particular spec or ability, or you can just have like one that has everything, right? So with this, Repugnant, Presence, and Fractured End have swapped places. Yeah, cool. 15% more health and threat generated. I'm not sure how this looks on the tree. I can probably go to it, but we can look at it afterwards and see. Fractured End now is 20% damage reflected per point. Nice. 12% more damage per point and reduce attack speed. Cool. More damage is great. Violent End, increase CDR for all the abilities, and 8% more damage for abilities with cooldowns. So all this is really cool. I think the fact that they add a lot of CDR within the tree is nice. I'm hoping that we continue to have the CDR outside of the tree and in gear as well. So we can probably get these cooldowns pretty low. 30% increased cooldown recovery speed for all of the Abomination's ability, but your Abomination loses 5% health when using an ability with a cooldown. Not too big of a deal. You'll sustain that easy. This just scales your, essentially the Devouring Souls ability based on how many mages you ate. Got more damage and more, I guess, an additional soul cast. Consume grants 3% of hit damage, leeches health, and can have a maximum of 3 points. More leech is good. Add a new node based off Bloated Corpse, Picky Eater. Your Abomination will not devour volatile zombies, even if they were used to make it. This is just the Tail Slam ability. So once you consume a volatile zombie, it gets a Tail Slam ability, which scales both with melee and spell damage, and does like a linear attack in both directions. It's actually a really cool attack. Just has a very, very slow cast time, or very, very low cast time. And maybe there's something to do with it, but now you don't consume volatile zombies, right? Stitch Flesh has been reworked and now grants 5% more health per point, plus 5% of maximum health restored on Devour. Great. Cadaverous Carapace has been reworked. Your Abomination gains 10% more max health for 8 seconds each time it devours a minion, up to 5 times per 8 seconds. That's nice. Added a new node off Stitch Flesh, Destruction Engine. Whenever your Abomination would devour a minion, you instead sacrifice that minion. Sacrifice that minion consumes 120% of sacrifice's mana cost. So this is interesting. I think there might be some pretty interesting build concepts with this node. I just need to know if like chaining will kill your A-bomb if it casts Devour and then proc Sacrifice, and then that chains. Is it going to kill your A-bomb? I don't know. But I think there's some things that you can do with this that'd be pretty interesting, where you can essentially have your A-bomb casting your Sacrifice for you. And it really depends on how your A-bomb can scale the cast speed of the Devour. If it's like Wraith Lord, which we can go look, I'm pretty sure it has the consume here, like consume minions. This is the use speed here, 0.733 per second with no cooldown, so no CD, and you can just spam it, and then you can scale those with cast speed, right? So if you get a lot of cast speed, and I don't know how it devours either, because I think the Abomination on base will devour minions that are the same type at the same time. I don't know if that's for the absorption or if that's just for the devour, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Hulking Mass has been replaced with Sharpened Bones. For each skeleton rogue you absorb, your Abomination gets 2% increased attack speed, up to is this up to 20 or whatever? And it's 4 points. So this is huge. Like getting this much attack speed per skeleton rogue is huge. Getting this much more melee damage per warrior is huge. Like 4%, 8%, 1% more health. Like you can get a lot of stuff from this, right? Skeleton Archer, 3% area. Like interesting node for sure. Deadeye has been reworked. This is the Heartseeker stuff we saw, and then you get 25% recurve chance per point and per archer. Cooldown reduced. So this one's also interesting. Spoils of War now grants double strike 20% more damage per skeleton warrior or skeleton rogue is absorbed. So now double strike in tandem with like this hulking mass, we can get a bunch of damage on double strike and just our melee hits and have this like a bunch of attack speed if we want. There's some interesting stuff here on A-Bomb, guys, and I think double strike is another one that's really, really cool. Unholy Command has been replaced with Cruel Monstrosity, plus 2%. I'm guessing that's base crit. Crit strike chance, and 1% increased movement speed per skeleton rogue absorbed. Like, I just, to me, it just seems pretty obvious. Like, Stomp, Double Strike, we're in. Let's go. Age of Undeath has been replaced with Commanding Presence. Cannot absorb summon skeletons. Minions within 12 meters of your abomination gain 10% increased attack speed. I don't know what this node is. I actually need to see this. Is this just like... Like, I assume it's mostly just for the can't absorb summon skeletons. And then it just gives an attack speed aura. But, like, I don't know. I just don't know about that. I just don't know about that. Engorgement has been reworked. I'll have to... This node just... Does anyone know if you have any ideas about this node just off rip? Please let me know, please. Otherwise, I just have a big question mark. How do I put a question mark here? Engorgement has been reworked. 5% more damage and health per point per type of minion consumed among summon skeletons, skeletal mage, wraith, and bone golems. Max 5 points. So, the engorgement node. Okay. So it says the maximum benefit of this effect is achieved if the abomination absorbs at least one minion from each of the 4 types. First off, I think there's 5. Oh no, there's 4 types. Okay, I can't read. Okay, there's 4 types here, so it doesn't include volatile zombies. So there's 4 types here, so you can only get max 4 of this. Yeah, at least one minion from each. Yeah, so as long as you have, it's just the max 4. And this is a snapshotable node. Like engorgement is snapshotable. This one's snapshotable. There's a bunch of nodes in here that are all snapshotable for A-Bomb, by the way. So if you're thinking about playing A-Bomb and you're like, man, glad I don't have to snapshot. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you can snapshot based on what I'm reading. And you're going to want a snapshot for sure. Epicurean has been removed. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know how to say this word. Death in the Family has been reworked. If the abomination was made using at least one of every minion type mentioned by engorgement, it gains 20% more damage and 20% increased attack speed and movement speed. So pretty much the same thing. These are the same types. It's just now based around exclusively the types that it can absorb. Well, actually less than that because it's -1. So 4 of the types that it can absorb. And yeah, I think this is nice. This is a great node, guys. Great node. Let's see here. Meat Grinder has been reworked. Your abomination has 5% increased attack speed per 5 seconds on kill, up to 20 times per 5 seconds. Maybe that's great. I have no idea. It doesn't sound that great, but it could be. On kill stuff is so great for clear, but yeah. Rapacious Protection has been replaced with Towered Bones. Stomp has, okay, so it's the Stomp node. Oh, amazing, guys. This is going to be crazy. Add a new node off of Repugnant Mass, Noxious Stench. Your abomination casts Ore of Rot, inflicting poison to itself and nearby enemies every second, influenced by its chance to poison on hit, plus 20% chance to poison on hit per skeleton rogue absorbed. Interesting, guys. I have no idea about this. Dude, can I actually see the tooltip? That'd be nice. But it's off my screen. Can I zoom out? There we go, guys. Now we do it. Okay, let's see. An aura surrounding the abomination which poisons it every second. Enemies near it poison 4 times a second, and the abomination's chance to poison on hit applies. Okay, so it's just, yeah, it's old AOD on abomination. I don't know how good this is gonna be. It sounds Yeah. But yeah, we shall see. I don't know. I really don't know about this. It's an interesting thing, but I kind of it makes me kind of laugh. It's kind of just like, oh, it's there, but we'll see. AOD. I didn't see anything that they took, um, like that they added for minions specifically. I guess I have no idea if the conversions will convert the buff that it gives. It didn't look like they removed the buff, unless I just didn't see it. I guess we can go check, guys, just real quick. Okay, so let's go. It's not in the patch notes, but right here, guys, as you can see, boom, poison chance, doom, dang, ooch. If Ore of Decay is converted to a different ailment, this effect causes minions to deal more damage over time of that ailment's damage type. So I don't know if it converts this. Doesn't say. Maybe it does. Let's hope it does. But it does convert the more damage. So, and this still exists. So for minions, dot AOD. All right, maybe even crit now, actually, because this doesn't matter. This does not matter. And we get fit. Oh my goodness. And we get fizz conversion. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just realized. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay. Oh, dude, Skeleton Rogue's gonna be so amazing. And A-Bomb. Oh my goodness. I can't. I'm so excited, guys. All right, where are we at? I'm sorry. We don't care about AOD anymore. Okay. Death Seal. Um, I didn't see anything once again with Death Seal that would matter for minions. I don't know if they kept these notes here. Okay, they did keep these notes. So that's here, and this note's still here. But the CD, I don't know. I just don't know if Death Seal is really much of a skill anymore. Especially for like, the niche stuff it could do with minions. So let's see. Hold our breath, I guess. I don't know. Outside of anything else, I don't think there's anything in here that I saw, and I'm not too, I don't care. It's Death Seal, it's in Lich, right? Dreadshade. Let's go. Wisdom of Dead now grants 8% increased cast speed per point. So if we go to Dreadshade, that's just gonna be the mana efficiency node here. Martyrdom grants 30 armor per vitality from 25 and 10% increased health decay. So this node actually got buffed quite a little bit. We get a little bit more armor and less health decay. So this is very, very good, very good, because it means that they take less damage from Lone Watcher, and means the base of the skill, the less health decay is a lot better, right? All right. Next, we have Flesh Harvest's effect has been clarified to state that the increased buff effect is always based on the target's health, even if cast on an enemy. So this just means that it works for enemies. I think before they didn't know, or sorry, I think before it was working that same way, but people didn't know. Added a new node off of Lingering Doom. Wasting Essence affected minions deal 8% more damage over time per point. So I'm not sure where this node is actually. Is it somewhere here? Oh yeah, here it is. So boom, right here, dude. I don't think y'all understand. Okay, so poison rogues really good. I think it's gonna be so good now. Poison rogues can be really nice. I never snapshotted with them before, and they did quite a bit of good damage, and I think they're gonna be insane now. So, oh, I can't wait to theorycraft, guys. You have no idea. I'm itching right now. Doomed Wrath has been removed. That was the one that gave you essentially the A-Bomb and Wraith nodes. This one, the more damage for A-Bomb and Wraith, gone. Good. People were taking this for Revenant. It never worked. Revenant doesn't. I mean, not Revenant. Wraith Lord never works. Wraith Lord doesn't count as a Wraith. Unfortunately, guys. I'm sorry. If you were doing that, you got bamboozled. Let's see what else. Egoism now requires Vile Gas instead of Pernicious Pact. So this is the crit node, and now requires this node. Essentially, this node used to be here, and this node used to be here. They just moved everything over, and then this. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. This node getting nerfed as well. I think that's in the next thing. Yeah, it's been reworked. This used to be permacrit. Now it's just 10% base crit, 20% multi, and then just increase their chance to be crit by 20%. And no cooldown. So as you can tell, there's like no cooldown in Dreadshade anymore. So a lot of interesting stuff you guys can do now. It's yeah, it's gonna be tough. The insanity we can get to. Spectral Distance has been reworked. Dreadshade now has 5% increased area per active minion when it was cast, up to 100%, max 1 point. Interesting node, kind of removes a lot of ability that we had outside of the old node. If you didn't know what the old node was, essentially it allowed you to buff your minions outside of your area. People would use this in a way, or I say people, I did. People would use this in a way where you could like set up like a rooted minion, like an A-bomb or whatever, somewhere with like low HP, get a bunch of the effect from this, set it on them, and then the whole map outside of that little area that they're in would have the Dread Shade buff. So it was really, really busted in that regard. And it's kind of interesting that they changed that. But there are some interesting things you can do with Dread Shade. In regards to snapshotting, I'm sorry guys, but based on everything I know, Dread Shade will be snapshottable, and if you want the most effectiveness out of your minions, you will be snapshotting Dread Shade. Disclaimer, letting you know now. Doombrand now deals 80 base damage with 400% effectiveness from 42 and 200. Let's see if a 200% increased effectiveness does anything for the skill. I've tried everything in my power to make that skill do damage and different builds. It's so bad. This is it now. This is afterwards. And you still get the 200% more multi after the fact. So it's like, can it be bad, guys? Can it be bad with that much damage? Surely it can, right? Doombrand now applies more frequently, reducing instances of newly created minions dying before receiving the brand. So that's also really good. I did notice that a lot, in minions that were dying rapidly would just not pop off the brand. So it was very, very annoying. Harvest, let's go, guys. Okay. I'm gonna look at the tree for this one once again. It's a skill that matters, but I do not feel like reading everything. And I'd rather see what minion changes are, since I do know the nodes that affect minions, right? So we have what used to be spirit shards. It's now Seeds of the Undeath. When Harvest kills an enemy or hits a boss or rare, you have a chance to summon a volatile zombie, consuming a percent of its mana cost. This effect can occur a limited number of times per 3 seconds. I think with this, if I remember exactly, there should be kill threshold right here. Yeah, okay. So essentially, in my mind, what I think you do with this node specifically is you have a limit 5 per 3 seconds for volatile zombie casts. This reduces the zombie mana cost by quite a lot. It's actually so nice. What I think you do in this instance is you want, Harvest to be able to kill enemies. And you can maybe do like a dot volatile zombie or something of that effect, and essentially spam zombies off cooldown, and then spam chaos bolts, which procs Harvest with all the new decks that you get, which procs zombies, which then you explode or cause to explode. And with chaos bolts, as everyone knows, with chaos bolts you get the more explosion damage. Now, I think this explosion damage is generic, as in it's like a generic, like the explosion skill does more damage. So if you wanted to do poison or a dot, I think you could. I also think you could do a crit. The only issue that you have, I guess, is getting the kill threshold that kills with Harvest. So I think with dot, maybe you have a little bit more opportunity to do that. I'm not sure, right, guys? I'm trying to figure this out, and then maybe you can get some blood spectre. There's a build here with, I'm telling you the skills: Harvest, volatile zombies, chaos bolts. Good luck. Y'all find it. This one used to give crit chance, still does. This one used to give minions, yep, still does. I don't think any of the other nodes in here have anything to do with minions. This did back here, it used to. Okay, so yeah, this no longer does anything with minions. And everything else, I think, is about the same. And then the Blood Spectre stuff here. So that's it. That's it for Harvest. Might be something interesting. Dude, there's so much to explore, guys. I have no idea. Marrow Shards. Boom. Got buffed. Hooray. Reaper Form. I don't care. Rip Blood. Yeah, so Rip Blood looks interesting still. I haven't looked at the full extent of the tree. Minions, prio targets, cast speed, all good. This got buffed. This got nerfed for the most part. There might be some builds still where you can utilize it pretty well. I know some of this stuff got changed. Oh, and you get maximum mana. This is actually really interesting. Oh wait, no, this is, I don't know why I saw that icon is usually a mana icon. I thought it said maximum mana. I'm blind, but I mean this is okay. It's fine. It's not anything to write home about. Blood tether, okay, it's great. Let's see here. Oh, blood splatter. Okay, it kind of sucks that we got rid of the actual perma blood splatter. Now we are forced to get a chance. We still get the blood infusion. It's nice. The attack speed, physical leech. These are all really nice. And then I'm not sure about the rest, right? All this interesting. It's great. It's so great. It's still the same. Coagulated blood. I'm hesitant, guys. I'm still hesitant. So very, very interesting. I mean, I guess this makes sense now since it hits in a line. But yeah, it's still pretty much the same, guys. It's rip blood. You might use it, you might not. Very interesting changes on, I guess, some of these nodes that I don't know if they'll manifest anything, but who knows? Outside of that, we didn't really get much from rip blood for Necro or minions, unfortunately. Sacrifice now has an 80%. Now has an 80 base damage and 400% effectiveness. Dang, just doubled it. They said pass it on to the next person and double it. So that's what they did. A little bit more damage from minions if you have 3 or more. And then sub skills, just the blood tether stuff. As you noticed, no summon skeleton stuff. We got bamboozled. They said they're like, oh yeah, the minions in that trailer, yeah, A-bomb and skeleton, they're gonna get a larger tree reward. Where's my tree reward, bro? Where's it at? Unfortunate. For Primalists, I think there are a lot of Primalists. I'm mostly sticking to Necro for this stuff, but a lot of the aspect changes seems to be really, really, really good. The passive tree changes that I saw seemed really good. Just generically talking over Beastmaster. Beastmaster, I mean, guys, if you want to play minions, this is literally your season. If you don't want to play minions, I'm sorry, you have to because it's literally minions season. So unfortunate, but you have to. A lot of interesting stuff. I'm probably gonna be playing Beastmaster, and I don't play Primalist because it's Primalist. But I'm probably gonna be playing Primalist and Beastmaster because of some of the changes. But yeah, please, please, please play minions this patch, guys. I need people to explore builds, and I need interesting builds to play with. So I didn't look much at these item affixes, and enemy balance changes. So we can take a look at all these, kind of go through them and see if there's anything worth talking about. I didn't see anything at first glance, but what do I know? Okay, let's look here. Clotho's Needle, fine. Confluence of Fate, fine. Wrong Warp, fine. Viper Tail, yep. Okay, Spear, nope. Talons Valor, nope. Blood of Exile, got nerfed, but still might be good boots. Who knows? Flame of Midnight, that's cool. Ambitions of an Erased Acolyte now has a maximum of 3,000 ward granted by its effect when a nearby enemy. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you could get some huge bursts of wards with this item, but it was an okay item. A lot of people utilize it a lot. I didn't really think it was that crazy to put in everything. Pearls of Swine, nice little nerf, dude, but it's not bad. I guess even got a little bit more on the word per second, but for most use cases, got nerfed. SMH, but we'll see. See how that goes. A little slight nerf for here, a little slight nerf for here. A lot of these items you're still probably going to use if the gearing remains somewhat the same. Transcribers, don't care for this build. Vessel of Strife, once again, dude. Once again, just nerfed. Black Blade, World Splitter, the slab. Yep. See, I knew this was coming too after people were theory crafting some Corsair set stuff. Ashes of Immortality. This is also something smart to do. Bloodkeeper's Nest. It's fine. It's fine, guys. I don't see why. I mean, maybe is that's the relic? I'm pretty sure, right? It's a. I don't know if I can even put it on this. Oh, oops. I don't know if I can put it on this. Oh yeah, it's a relic. So they buffed it a little bit to maybe compete with the T-Rex item. That makes sense. But as I said, Not too many crazy changes for minions there. COF and merchant skill changes. I think these are nice. You know, you know, get a taste of the COF when you join it. The QL here is nice. I think some people had some complaints maybe with ARM team, but I think this is mostly for like, casuals, and then it benefits obviously buyers. But whatever. In-game faction updates, noise, guys. I like some of the new nodes they added for the Weaver tree. Gonna be really nice to play with some of the new in-game content. I'm really hoping that we get some longevity out of that. Please. Loot filter stuff is really nice. EHG's always been great about quality of life, and I think they've hit the nail on the head with this one. And they continue to add macros, and these are all nice. I really wish they would like extend the system and abstract it a little bit more, where people could come up with their own custom macros. Like if you just made this a tool, like the loot filter and shareable, I don't know. I feel like that'd be in game. It'd be really nice too, where people could come up with some interesting macros. But I don't know. Maybe if they expand the system and keep doing these quick tags, it'll end up being like that in some way, where people are making, ginormous search strings. I think there's a limit to how much you can search, though. It's unfortunate. General UI, yep, always great. Glad it's getting better. Controller, I don't play on controller. I have hands. Performance, optimized memory allocation across the game. Yes, dude, yes. Okay, this is huge buff to minions, guys, as you can tell. Localization, other, oh, it's all coming together. Visuals, oh. Cosmetics, okay, guys, this is actually important. Actually important. Because if we scroll down, guys, you're gonna notice something here. Skill effects. These are huge buffs to minions, guys. Mage? Huh, what? Bone Golem? What? Skeleton? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I know I'm running one of these skins. I hope y'all know that. I am buying these skins. I'm giving my money to Craft On. They got me this time. God, I hate that they did that. That they did it right after all this. I'm just kidding. But huge buffs. Minion MTX. Bug fixes. I don't think I saw anything in here that was too crazy. There's some stuff to skeletal mages. Yeah, didn't know anything about that bug. That's a nice little update, Let's see here. Reperform, Bone Golem. Yup. That one's annoying. Don't know much about this, but I think there's some talk about this being a pretty huge change or bug fix. Yep, that is, I think, it, guys. I don't know if there's anything else here that's gonna apply to minions or Necro, and yeah. So let's just get to the end here. We can talk about it. I don't know if there's anything I missed, but if there's anything that I missed, guys, or anything that you guys want to talk about, you can please leave a comment below. That'd be great. For this, I do want to talk about, maybe some build ideas just quickly. And I'll probably go into more detail about these theorycrafts individually as I craft them. But here's some ideas. Tail Slam A-Bomb, Double Strike A-Bomb, pretty much any A-Bomb skill, I think, and then also like an abomination of all the skills that you can put together. Sack A-Bomb, Poison Rogues, Fizz Crit Rogues, Summon Revenant. There might be even be an opportunity for Ellie Crit on various builds as well. Proc CB / Zombies, Dot Bone Golem, Infernal Shade Necro is going to be another one that I look at. These are kind of the builds that I'm really keen to take my hands on in Theorycraft, and I think I'll probably. I don't know what you guys would prefer. If you want me to make like individual videos on each Theorycraft or do like a grouping, like maybe I group all of A-Bomb or group all of Rogues or something or whatever, and then upload those videos and kind of my crafts with Theorycrafts and planers with that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Also curious to know what you guys are planning on league starting. I mean, the patch notes are out. We have kind of an idea of like what everything's going to be. So what are y'all going to league start? Please let me know. And just give me some ideas, guys. I'm so excited at Theorycraft. This is a patch that's rearranging and changing a lot of things that are core to what I've been playing and theory crafting with over the past 4 to 5 years. So yeah, this is a really exciting patch for me, guys. And based on everything that I've seen, I think they've really done a really good job for Necro and some of the things that it can get out of the passive tree, the skills. Disappointed they didn't touch up on skelly rogues or skeletons in general. I know there's other changes that have effects on them, but the skill tree is something that I was hoping would get a little facelift. Same with Bone Golem. Hey, I'll take what I can get, and hopefully we can continue to get some more changes as time goes on. But yeah, let me know, guys. Theorycrafts, what you're starting. Are you excited for season 3? And did patch notes live up to your expectations? Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this video, and yeah, peace out.